All right, and we are back once again after about a good 5 months away here on the Luke Cave podcast. And tonight I have my guest, StayChilly91, aka Ghetto, saying God.
Hello, hello.
Also, and we also have Plots.
Hello, how is everyone doing tonight?
So, tonight we're actually going to talk a little bit about the next expansion, Beyond Light and Destiny 2. Uh, we're just going to start from there and just see where everything goes. Um, so right now, Ghetto, we're going to go ahead and start with you first, just so that if you end up having to leave, because I know you're kind of on a short schedule right now. Um, so, what's your thoughts on the next expansion? What are you hoping for, and what you're looking forward to?
Um, I'm looking forward towards a lot in this next expansion because I took a long break from Destiny, so I'm just starting to catch up on things, starting to remember my Destiny knowledge, which is quite difficult right now. But I'm working at it. It's progress. But I'm looking forward to the new Warlock ability. That's gonna be
The stasis.
nice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. As a Warlock main,
Hmm.
that's what I'm looking forward to. That's I'm gonna have to make a build for that. But
Right. Well, they also have a lot of things going on. As of right now, we're looking at, let's see, today's date is um, October 16th. So we still got a little bit of ways before the expansion drop. But they're also talking about, with the new armor setup, with the mods. They're also talking about where you can customize your ghost. Um, they're talking also about our weaponry, the with our weapons. They're going to be doing some with it, but we're not sure of right now what they're planning on. It could be Weapon 2.0, like what we've seen with the Armor 2.0 before the Shadowkeep, I believe. And but yeah, I think a lot of that is going to really to make things a lot different than what we're seeing right now, I think.
right.
And you could really
Yeah.
customize with the warlocks and all that good stuff. Um, now, what is it that you're exactly looking forward to? Are you looking more towards, like the story, um, getting, if they're going to do anything with PvP? Um, I've also heard that they're going to be doing something different with Gambit. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, you asking me or
Yeah.
see I'm looking forward towards the PvP aspect
Mm-hmm.
because I'm really wanna dive into that and sharpen up my skills, and play a lot of competitive play because that's what I do. That's
Right.
what I want to get into. Um, but I hope they do some changes to Gambit because I like Gambit. Like that's a really fun game mode for PvE and PvP
Mm-hmm.
aspect of it, and I hope they keep that same aspect of it. I hope they don't change that. Um, that just makes the whole dynamic of the game different than the other game modes that's out there. So,
Right.
um, but other than that, I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring.
Definitely. We're I'm very hopeful to maybe hoping to see that there's going to be something different with the game, um, especially with the new subclasses. Um, I could see that that's going to be where we could really build different builds than what we're used to. Um, just adding that one extra subclass. Who knows?
Right.
Um, now, plots.
Yeah.
What kind of going over the same questions? What's your thoughts? You're kind of the
I
you're like day one beta,
yeah.
like before even people knew about it. You were probably playing this sucker.
Yeah.
So what you
Well,
give us your insight?
one of my favorite things that they're doing is they're kind of bringing back the older story aspect, and they're trying to realign the story so that they can get out the best story content and the best raids for us, which is something that I've been wanting for a while because, I mean, if we're going to be honest, the Leviathan was kind of lackluster, I won't even lie. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the new raid and how people are going to enjoy it, the different strategies that are going to happen. One thing that I can't wait for is to see definitely what they do with Varix. Varix will be very interesting, especially to see if they kind of bring back. I mean, they might also bring back the Prison of Elders in a certain way, which they've announced something of that sort.
Hmm.
Not exactly Prison of Elders, but it's something that I want to see happen because that was one of my favorite things back in D1.
Right.
So I definitely feel like there's going to be some good changes coming. The subclasses are definitely a good change because I feel like we're going to start to experience what the darkness has and all the story to come with that. So
Okay. Yeah, that's I definitely agree. Um, I almost it almost feels like they're trying to bring back D1 and try to incorporate it into D2. Basically, just make all of it one. For example, they're bringing back the Cosmodrome, and I remember when I played D1 on my PlayStation 3, I I actually lived in that. It was like
yeah, right.
that's where I spent most of my time, especially the epic loot cave that was there that I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody remembers, and just loads and loads of loot that would just drop from that. My other favorite one was there on Venus in that one building, and
Oh yeah, that was cool. The
yeah, where
just
you
the
you jump on the side of the building, jump as high as you
yeah.
can, so it respawns, and you just fall down, and then you just go back into the building and just blast it, all of them out of that one little room. Yeah, I would do that for like hours upon hours, just getting random loot drops. Um,
Yeah.
so um, let's see what else. Um, do you think that you see any changes to, let's say, PvP? Because I know a lot of people
I
are just they're just they just hate it. They
yeah,
just don't
there's been
like
a
the
lot
where
of
it is,
hate
especially with
towards
trials
PvP.
came back. It is just
Yeah.
let's
Well,
talk about that.
especially with the way that Trials has come back, they definitely made it a little bit better in some people's minds, and I would say probably a lot worse in others. But
Hmm.
I definitely feel like they are going to probably improve on a bunch of the PvP modes. One of the things I hope that they do is add a couple new ones because I feel like at the moment, even if they don't change a whole lot about the weapons, because let's be honest, a lot of them are very broken in there. If they
Hmm.
don't change a lot about that, I think it would be good to add some new modes, maybe something kind of like the older hardcore modes that you would see in like other games where it's like you are one shot and the weapons are not as OP because it
Hmm.
kind of would balance things out. And one of the things I hope that they eventually will do, probably not Beyond Light, but maybe towards the end, is kind of make a different stat pool for your weapons in the PvP arena rather than have it be crossed between PvE and PvP. Because
Right.
I feel like that would mix it up a little bit and, kind of even out the skill playing ground and whatnot and kind of reset it back to what it was in D1.
Right.
Which I don't know. I think that the PvP modes are definitely going to get an increase towards the end. I don't know about the beginning. I know that a lot of people are not in love with it right now. Like I've been in party chats where people just despise the mode because of how toxic people can get.
Hmm.
But I
Yes.
definitely feel like with the new improvements and all that to the weapons and the different items, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, the way I kind of see it when it comes to PvP, I mean, you almost, I mean, I always try to stray away from using the meta,
Yeah, same
and
here.
I feel like, but like for me, for instance, I enjoy playing with a bow and hand cannon,
Hmm.
um, and I feel more comfortable using those. And but when like as of right now, it's gnawing hunger everywhere you look. It's just auto
Yeah,
rifles, and that's just everybody always uses the same weapon, and I almost kind of wonder if there's any kind of way that they could adjust it enough to where people could still use other weapons and do well enough and don't have to use the meta, where you could just throw the meta out and you can,
yeah.
basically get good with any weapon that you choose of. Not everybody wants to use the auto rifle, but they're forced to
That's
because that's
yeah,
that's the only thing that has the highest DTK right now, it seems. Besides,
yeah,
I mean, the shotguns and your sniper rifles, but I mean,
yeah.
still.
Not everyone's good with those though. So, but I definitely feel like that the auto rifles and the meta might get changed quite a bit if it doesn't go away. If they towards later in the season, especially whenever the light starts to be boosted up per season. Once that starts to happen, we'll have mountaintop stop showing up. We'll have different weapons that are a little bit more on the OP side and just not really um, fit for PvP in my mind start to fade out. And one of the things that I'm also interested in is to see what they do with their new Pinnacle system instead of doing the you get set amount of kills and you get set amount of kills in a certain mode to get the weapon. I definitely think that they're going to change that up a lot. They already said that they were doing something similar but not the same.
Hmm.
Um, I know that the fact that they have Strike Pentacles and Crucible Pentacles, there won't be two separate modes. It'll most likely be like a choose your path type thing. So you can do Strikes, you can do Gambit, you can do Crucible to get the weapon rather than being forced and locked into one mode.
Right.
Which, on a little bit more of the controversial side of things, is like Activision's whole shebang with the PvP kind of did start that meta trend, and sad to say, but they definitely were one of the main causes to start that and make it more of a just guns ablazing, shoot somebody with an auto rifle 24/7 type mode, which
Hmm.
does suck. But I definitely feel like in the new season they'll start to wind back on that as much as they can without making players upset. So,
Ghetto, do you have anything you would like to add?
Um,
Anything that
not
you
at
would
the
like to
moment. That's
see improved in PvP, essentially?
uh, ooh,
Besides our
nothing in
experience in comp earlier?
yeah, right?
I mean, comp is comp.
Right.
It's always gonna be sweaty. Any
Hmm.
time of the day. Survival trials. I mean, Iron Banner even. Um, but nothing in particular really. Everything's pretty much been touched on. I don't really have any like ideas that they can improve on in PvP.
What
Hmm.
would your
Um,
thoughts be on skill-based matchmaking, though? That's something I want to know, because if I think if they were to add something of this sort, it would be interesting.
Well, whatever they're doing, it's not working.
Yeah,
Because we
exactly.
can
That's
go
why
in
I
one
was.
match and we just destroy the whole team. I mean, just ask Ghetto.
Yeah,
We've been in there like, man, we just rock these kids. And all of a sudden, then we get into the next match and we just get destroyed. And it's like,
yep,
what? I mean,
yeah. That's kind of
I
why
mean,
I'm interested in the new system.
I kind of enjoy it that way sometimes because it's like, yeah, you're going to get dropped in with, a group of guys that they just live and breathe the comp, and it's just
Yeah.
it's just fun to challenge those kind of people that that's all they do and test your skills against them. And
Yeah.
but it's just so frustrating after match after match after match. It seems like after that first one or two matches, you're just dropping. And it's like you just
Yeah.
lose every time. But I mean, I know it's nature of the beast. So I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that's I don't really like playing comp as much, but sometimes it calls me and it's like, yo, I need to get in there and then just face the beast and just do my thing.
Yeah.
And if I start losing a bunch of matches, all right, well, let's back out and go play um, control or something for a little while. But even then, I mean, Jesus Christ, some of the people are just hardcore sweats in there alone.
Yeah.
So, um, I would say I want to put a debate up here on this topic. Like I said, I enjoy using bow and hand cannon, right?
Mhm.
Well, I would really, really like to have it for bows. If you get a crit shot, it should be just like a sniper rifle, just one shot, headshot, you're done. There's no I gotta hit you
Yeah.
twice. If I get a crit shot, you should just die. I think that should actually be a thing. Um, if you want to argue that, I think we could also go with, okay, well, then that would make bows too overpowered. And it was like, okay, well, if you want to lower something, lower the draw time then, where it's a little bit
Yeah.
slower. That way you're not like just spamming. I mean, you have, and also they can iterate with the bow. You have to have that perfect shot, and you only have that basically a split second with that
Yeah.
with that perfect shot to get the max damage that the bow does. So
Yeah.
so if you want to put down the draw time, that's fine. Knock that down a little bit. But I think for those of us who actually rock a bow, I think it should be a one shot crit in Crucible, and you're just done. Just like a sniper rifle. You know.
Yeah, I think something that they would need to do is make, if they do something like that, I feel like one of the things that would need to be done would be maybe not increase the or decrease draw time or increase it or do anything with that, but I would say maybe not make it a critical one shot, but make the perfect shot do more damage and have an increased time window for that. So, like, and maybe even add a perk that shows like your time window or the stat that does that, and then you also on some bows like the Wish Ender or the Lay Monarch or different bows that show how close you are to max draw without losing
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
I definitely think that would be a good way to do it because yes, it is very unfair right now that you can get one shot by snipers, yet if you ever get shot with a bow, you're going to come out clean. Like,
Well, it depends because a
it
lot of
does depend
people,
because
if you know how to use the bow, and
yeah,
like a lot of the times I'll use a bow and swap to a hand cannon and damn near just one tap you if I
yeah.
get a crit shot. So, I mean, I know how to utilize it as a tool, but I just think that, like, okay, sometimes I think that a bow should do more damage than it really does. You know,
Yeah. Well,
um,
and especially because, like, a sniper, like, even if you put it into how many weapons you can hold on a character standpoint, like, if a sniper is one weapon that's all you need to kill someone, and then you can still have an AR or something else in the back slot, like, I definitely feel like both should have a little bit of a buff. Maybe not a full one shot, but maybe once you shoot someone in a precision, faster draw or faster swap time, so you can swap to another weapon quickly
hmm
with certain weapons, or maybe a mod that would let you do that. I think that would be interesting.
right.
Even a charge with light mod, because I know that they're doing a lot with them in the next season, especially allowing them on exotics. Maybe an exotic charge with light mod that would only allow you to put it onto an exotic armor piece. that would be even interesting.
Hmm. Well, at this point, I think we'll go ahead and switch gears, and both Ghetto and Plots, they're actually streamers. Um, Plots has been streaming for about 7 years, and Ghetto, I'm not sure exactly how long you've been streaming.
For about 4 years.
About 4 years. Okay.
Uh,
So I wanna dive into that. Pick your guys' brain at that. Um, Ghetto, we'll start with you, and why don't you kind of give us a little backstory, like, um, for instance, you know what what made you decide to do it in the first place, and just kind of go from
ooh,
there. Start from the beginning.
man wants me to time travel.
Yeah, that's right. We're
Ooh, I
going
gotta
back
think
in
here.
time.
Okay. What made me want to stream? Hmm. I mean, because I love video games for one. I've been playing video games since I was a kid, and that's one of my friends told me about YouTube, that you can stream on YouTube and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, and so I just started streaming from my PlayStation. So I started on YouTube streaming Dark Souls 3. Then I was streaming a little bit of Destiny 2.
Mm,
And I had a couple of friends that I was streaming with. I mean, the streams weren't big at all to begin with. It was very small. But I didn't let that, defeat me, 'cause that's how it starts. You start out small. You gotta work your way up to greatness.
that's right.
But
It's
you gotta
not. It's
start out
no
with
easy
nothing.
feat. You know.
Exactly. So you gotta start out with nothing. Um, but then that's when I kind of discovered Twitch. Um, and I heard that it was like better progress there, and you get like better, viewership, and it focused more on video game aspect than YouTube, because then that's what people are looking for on YouTube anyway. People streaming, video games.
Hmm.
It's not as big, back then. I mean, now it is, but um, but long time ago, no. So I made the switch, and it was a hard process. Let me tell you. um, oh shoot, hold on a second. Turn that off. Okay, my apologies. So when I started Twitch, it was a little bit rocky because I didn't have like no viewership at all. I mean, that's how it starts. I didn't have no like mod setup. I didn't have no special setup. I was just streaming straight from the PlayStation, and I started streaming Bloodborne. Real classic game.
Hmm.
I love Bloodborne, and I started getting viewership from that, like a lot. I was attracting a lot of people from the UK mainly. A couple of people from Japan. Of course from the US too, but not as big because people love UK people love Bloodborne,
Right.
and that's when I kind of like made the switch again as far as video games. I wanted to be more like a variety streamer, and I love shooting games. So I play COD, Black Ops 3. I also played Rainbow Six Siege, which I gained a lot of my viewership in that as well. Um, so I had a decent community. It wasn't big, um, because I had a lot of help along the way. My stream got a little bit better. I had mods. I had a laptop that I can, check chat better and, add upgrades to the stream a little bit. Um, I did a few donation stuff too as well. Um, like, so it was kind of better for me, the YouTube route. I mean, not YouTube. I'm sorry. I am tired right now. My apologies.
You're good,
I am
man.
so. I'm fighting sleep right now.
I'm sorry. That's why I figured I'd try to get you through first, and if you got to
Yeah.
go, then
Woo,
Plots and I will finish it
woo.
off. So, but
That's all good.
yeah. I mean it sounds like a lot of people have the kind of the same story, and um, now from what I hear, it's I don't do Twitch yet. I mean, I'm looking into doing some Twitch. Maybe they're kind of going through some shit right now. But I d- have you really thought into maybe getting to where you can stream on YouTube instead? Because I mean, the discoverability is higher on YouTube than it would be on Twitch.
Right. I've thought about it. Kind of doing. Well, you can't do both now. The streaming world has definitely changed. It,
Right.
it used to be where you can multi-stream, like with Twitch and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But like a few years later down the road, that rule kind of changed. So like Twitch kind of made that, kind of strict. Like if you're a streamer on Twitch and if you're streaming on YouTube also like multi-streaming,
Mm-hmm.
like Twitch will kind of, strike you in a way. That's kind
Yeah.
of like, no, that's competition. You don't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So even with Mixer, but Mixer is no longer with us anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
No, they kind of died. They kind of died off there after a while. I think
right,
Twitch would be a lot better if there was more discoverability. If they would integrate basically what YouTube does. Where it really helps people, but then at the same time, it's everybody seems to be trying to become the next big streamer.
Yeah.
Especially these kids these days. They either want to be a YouTuber or they want to be a streamer or something like that. And it's like, yeah, that'd be good if you're willing to put the work in, because obviously you guys should know,
oh yeah,
y'all, it's work. It's not easy.
Yeah. It
So
is.
it's not something that happens overnight. Um, and a lot of people just don't understand that. And a lot of the times you have to realize you have to do what others are not willing to do.
exactly.
You know,
Yep.
you have to be willing to sacrifice sleep.
Hmm.
That's probably like number one thing. You have to sacrifice sleep, especially if you're married, got kids, and all this other stuff, and you got a full time job. But if you want to make something happen, you're gonna have to sacrifice some sleep now. It's not gonna just poof, there it is. So, but yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I did a 12-hour stream once before. It wasn't easy. Like well, the real story was I was supposed to do a 24-hour stream, my first one,
Yeah.
and day of, getting ready, I had energy drinks, I had pizza, chips, stuff, water, I was
mm-hmm.
stacked, I made sure I was prepared and everything. I had a good amount of sleep and everything. I slept early the night before,
Yes, sir.
and I was prepared.
Right?
So stream starts, everything's cool, everybody's there, supporting me, everybody giving me hosts, donations and stuff like that, everything's cool. And 6 hours in, I'm going good, and the 4 hours later prior to that, I hit a wall. I hit that sleepy wall, like, and that's what my mind was
Love you guys
telling
all of a sudden
me.
the chat here.
Oh no, I didn't sleep on stream. No. That's not what. But some of my mods, um, were just looking at my face because I had a camera too. And they were just looking at me. And they were just like, "Bro, you're not gonna make it, man." I'm like, "What you talking
Yeah.
about, bro?" And he's like, "You ain't gonna make it, man." Like, so
Oh,
I only did 12 hours.
Yeah.
Then I went to sleep.
yeah.
I said, "I'm sorry, y'all. it's not gonna happen, y'all."
Yeah.
Oh, and I see you, Unit, in the chat. What's up, brother? Long time no see, man. But anyways, uh, yeah. Now I guess I'll kind of leave it up to you. But you were talking about going back in. You know, picking up the flag where you left off, and then getting back into the game. Is that still within your thought process?
Yes, most definitely. Quite a few people that was in my community been asking, when you coming back? 'Cause I had a chill community. It was like my community was the type that you could just come in and just chill and lurk. There wasn't a requirement to chat in my room. You know, I'm just here to provide content
Mm.
and make you guys feel comfy and at home, chill. Do whatever. If you want to speak, speak. If you don't, you don't have to. I wasn't tripping.
Right.
Um, it was the chill zone for that was the name of my community. Um,
Jesus Christ, there's a damn
but
truck outside. I am so sorry if you could hear that in the background. Somebody revving up their damn truck right outside my house. Oh, golly. It's
but
it's late,
it's
man. You ain't be doing that shit. All right. But go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
you're good, you're good. But it's definitely a plan to come back.
Well, if you, I definitely would love to see you get back into it. Hopefully, uh, I can become part of that community that you've already built. And actually, for both of you, um, I really don't have any streamers that I really watch um, on a consistent basis because I really don't spend a lot of time on Twitch. But I mean, if I could do anything to help, and I'm hoping that, maybe not right now, but, later on down the line, we'd be able to make, you know, progress, I guess you could say. And,
Oh, most definitely.
you know, the idea is to be able to bring people like you guys or, somebody who's thinking about getting into streaming, maybe to inspire somebody to do it. Excuse me. And think about, maybe, getting into streaming, kind of giving them the knowledge of what to look for, what to expect, what could happen. But if I could change somebody's life, that would be freaking awesome. I mean, right now I can't really do that, but one day if I keep going what I'm doing right now, hopefully we can get to that, and that would be awesome. I mean, that's all I would ask for. Um,
Right.
so, and it would be really cool. You guys get up there in the big numbers, and just don't forget about the little guy here. All right, so you just hit me up, and we'll do another show with you guys. And I don't expect you guys to like send your people, raid my channel or nothing. This is more of hoping if I could build my own community then I can send people to your guys' way, or other people's way that I'll end up having on the podcast. Um, but yeah, I would really love to see you start streaming again. I definitely, hopefully, maybe I'll get to be in some of your streams. I do plan on streaming myself. Kind of, once I build a community, then I'll definitely want to try to get into that. So, but Ghetto, I mean, if you gotta go, I understand. I know you're tired. I don't want, because I'm going to go ahead and start with Platts and tell his little bit of his story. So if you want to go ahead and say your goodbyes, or if you want to chill, relax, hang out, you're free to do whatever you want, man.
I'll chill for a little bit.
Okay.
I got a little bit of time.
So,
All right, Platts,
I
you're my next victim.
I started streaming about 7 years ago, roughly, somewhere probably close to 8 at this point. Yeah, I think 8, close to. But I started streaming on my, it's gonna be a surprise, but I started streaming on my 8th birthday. Back like February, way back when, like a long time ago. And I started streaming Fortnite and a couple other games. Fortnite came out probably about a couple years after, but my first ever game streamed was Don't Starve Together, which was a indie game and still is an amazing indie game. It's a survival based game, but my game after that, I started doing some StarCraft with I started doing StarCraft with a couple friends on my PC. It was a little janky PC. It was a Mac, but it worked just barely enough to run that and stream a little bit. But I did some Minecraft and whatnot back in the day, and then I moved from that up to Fortnite and then into Call of Duty and Destiny, which I brought a couple of my friends with me at the time, and then we kind of parted ways. I got a couple of them affiliate, and yeah, my stuff really didn't take off much early on. It's starting to a little bit now. It's gotten to, I think, 70 some odd subs on YouTube and almost 100 on Twitch followers. So, I mean, it's been going pretty well.
Right.
It just was an interesting rough start because, I mean, nobody wants to listen to an 8-year-old on a stream talk,
Well,
But
we
it was
got
a lot
plenty
of
of
fun,
those already, so.
right? But yeah, so now I'm trying to get my stream schedule and whatnot started up and all that, but it's been a little bit rougher just because, COVID and all the different craziness going on in the world, but I'm
See,
starting
that's
to
the
get back
thing
into
with
it,
the
so...
whole COVID. I hear, with the whole, like, if you're a YouTuber or streamer or
Oh, yeah.
something, I mean, that shit went up. Like,
Oh yeah, it straight up
I
did, but that
mean,
was the issue. Like it went up, and then all the people that were on the bottom rows started to go down because they were all the people that went up were being prioritized. So
yeah, that's always a real big issue. And
yeah,
I guess, okay, this could be, don't take this like
yeah, no.
an insult or anything to you guys. All right, I figure this would be a good way for you guys to explain yourselves.
Yeah.
God damn, I wish that fucking truck would go away. But anyways, what? And this is for both of you guys. What
hmm
makes you two different amongst everybody else, amongst the waves of people that are doing the exact same thing? What could you give different?
That would be a little bit harder of a question for me.
I
I
know
feel
that's a hard question because
yeah,
I don't even know the answer to that. Like,
yeah,
what do I have to give for what I want to do? I
yeah,
don't know yet. I guess it's more of I guess it's more I have to discover it as I'm
yeah.
doing what I'm doing. But
Well, and
you
for
have
me,
everything against you guys, so it's
yeah,
like
exactly.
everything is against you. So how can you guys stand out? And without
Yep.
having to, move away from being who you truly are, trying to be
Yeah.
somebody else, like some guys I've seen, like my kids, they'll watch some uh, YouTubers. They're just hype, 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 hype the
Yeah.
entire fucking time. The entire video just screaming and yelling and hollering. I'm just like, cool it, dude. You're
Yeah.
gonna, I don't know, you're gonna pop a vessel.
Yeah.
Like you just always screaming and hollering. Like I get the excitement. That's great, but really, I mean, it
I
almost
feel
seems
like,
like the whole YouTube thing and the whole streaming thing to me seems to be like the next Hollywood. You
yeah.
know? Like how it
Yep.
used to be, everybody went to California to go to Hollywood and, to become the next big actor or actress. But now,
Yep.
where YouTube started to now, it's like, it's almost like a reoccurring thing. It's almost like history just keeps repeating itself, you know?
Yeah.
And it almost makes you think, well, how can you compete with that? And what could you do different that nobody else does? And I think one thing that I'm hoping that this platform does is give people a chance to kind of get to know you and be
Yeah.
like, hey, this guy sounds like he's really cool. Ghetto sounds like he's a pretty dope guy. And I want to see his next 24-hour live stream that he ends up passing out within 12 hours,
Yeah.
which I think that would be dope. So, yeah, I guess that would be the biggest question. I know I kind of rambled on for a minute, but what do you guys think makes you guys stand out in your personal
Do you want
opinion?
to go first, or do you want me to?
I can go first.
Okay.
What made me different was ooh, my personality. I mean, because everybody's personality is different. Um, yeah, everyone is streaming the same game. Like Minecraft and
Minecraft.
Pokemon and shit.
Yeah. Right.
Like everyone's streaming the
Pokemon.
same shit. The
Well,
same
mainly
thing
it's
is
like Fortnite and like Call of Duty,
Most of
and
the Call of Duties, yeah,
it's
now
like
is popping off. A bunch of indie games are. It's interesting.
yeah, like Among Us and
Among Us,
oh my god.
Phase,
I
Phasmophobia.
just figured out what the hell
Phasmophobia,
that
yeah.
was. I'm sorry, but
Phasmophobia, the
I'm
horror
trying
game, is interesting.
I'm trying to keep up with
Yeah,
these damn trends, but Jesus Christ, they change so fast.
Yeah,
I mean, like it seemed like it was just yesterday that the damn Pokemon Go was a trend.
I know, right? Well, it's funny because Among Us came out 2018 and it
I
just popped off
know.
now.
Isn't that
Like I was
crazy?
playing back 2019 of it,
I know
not a
why.
long
I know
time,
the
but
secret. I know the secret. It's because
yeah.
Mr. Beast started playing it, and then
Oh,
everybody
I
else
know,
started
yeah.
playing it.
Yep.
That's who it was. It was Mr. Beast started playing it, and everybody started playing it.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Gato. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, you're good. Um, I think it was just because of my personality that made me different. A lot of my following that watch me stream live, on cam, they see my facial expressions, and because I played a lot of games, like from shooting games, like COD, R6, then games like South Park, Stick of Truth,
Mm-hmm.
them wild ass games, so like I have a wild ass sense of humor.
Yeah.
And my facial expressions, kind of, cope with that. So, um, there was a bunch of clips, that my chat made. Every reaction, of what happened, get blown up by a car on Grand Theft Auto, or getting shot a certain way, or get hit by a C4. Just see my
Mm-hmm.
facial expressions. It's like, yo, you just see his face, like,
They're gonna make
and
memes
they
out of
just
that
see
shit.
basically, basically, it was hilarious. Like, still to this day, um, I still see my clips on my page because I didn't get rid of them, and most of my clips on my page are my reactions. That's
Mm-hmm.
it, and
Yep.
it just be hilarious. Sometimes I go back to them, and it's just hilarious as hell. Because that's what people, were looking for. When they come to my stream, like, all right, let's see what shit Chili gonna get into today. You know, get your clip button ready.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it,
Yep. Yep.
it was hilarious. Like I love my chat for that, and I think that's what made me different. And I'm like so chill with everything. I'm kind of a quiet dude. I don't say too much. Um, but I make sure my presence is known. 'Cause that's kind of important in streaming anyway.
Right.
You want to make sure your presence is known. You want to make sure you keep your chat involved. Make sure that they're still there. Don't matter. The number you got. You just
Yeah.
gotta talk to yourself if you need to. That's what everybody had to do. I had to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Like I
good
had to.
practice. That's for sure. Um. Now, I'm gonna throw this your guys' way. I think Ghetto, you and I talked about this before, but I think when it comes to streaming, and by all means, I want you guys to hit me back with uh, with your experiences or your feedback with it. Um, from how I understand, for like when it comes to okay, let me let me start with this. I've started watching a YouTuber, Harris Heller. I believe I'm saying his name right. Question mark. Harris Heller. Yeah, I believe I'm saying it right. Through and he's got a YouTube channel called Alpha Gaming. I don't know if you guys know it, but I've learned a lot through his channel. So, shout out to him. But anyways, he also when it comes to streaming, just because of the low um, discoverability, he also said, well, if you want to be a streamer, you basically also have to become a YouTuber. You got to build a platform somewhere, and to build a platform on YouTube, and then take that platform that you built on YouTube and bring it over to Twitch. And then that way you can get, higher up, I guess, the ladder. So now with you guys having the experience, 4 years and 7 years, what would your response be to that?
I definitely think that the multiple platform way to handle it is definitely a good way to do it. I feel like it also depends on your audience because some people don't like using Twitch. So you have to get a big enough audience on one of them if you want to transfer any of them, if you know what I mean. Because I tried to do it, but I was way too small before I did it, which was definitely an interesting experience because I moved to Twitch from YouTube at roughly 100 on my channel, and it dropped about 30, and then I only got 5 or 7 that came. So it's it really does depend if you can get a big enough following on one of the platforms. But if you can, doesn't matter if it's Twitter, if it's something that's not related to streaming.
Right.
If you get a big enough following, you can take them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Especially if you look at a YouTuber, Captain Sparkles, literally he has 7 channels, all over 500,000 members, and one of them over, I think, 7 million at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, it definitely just depends, what people are interested in, if people are going to, want to download the other app or to follow and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, it depends. I definitely think it does work. It works very, very well, but you got to have the right circumstances for it too.
Right. What's what about you, Ghetto? what's your say in this?
The multi-platform thing is kind of like, what's the word? Mandatory. Kind of
Yeah.
mandatory
Damn
in a
near,
sense.
yes.
It's
Um,
damn near mandatory because when I first started, I was not multi-platform. I was just hanging out on, Twitch. I didn't really know about. I knew about Twitter, but I didn't really think of making a stream account for it.
Yeah.
Until someone told me that, hey, you should network, and that's one of the ways you should network. It's Twitter. And I was like, okay, so I made a Twitter account, and still to this day, I still use it.
Yep.
Like all day, every day.
right, right.
All day, every day, I'm on it. Like, I think that's out of all the other social media apps besides Twitch, Snapchat, Instagram. I'm mainly on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
It's kind of addicting. Even when I'm not streaming as much anymore, it's like it's kind of hard to get away from that. You kind of like sucked into that world, and like that's your world. Like you've been streaming for that long, like that's
Yeah.
you're bonded with it. There's no getting out of that.
Hmm.
So kind of like a lifestyle now.
Yeah.
But
Well, um, now here's another question. What do you guys think about the whole Facebook gaming?
I think it was an interesting move by Facebook. I don't necessarily know how well it'll take off. Like it has a little bit, but I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't think it'll take off more than it has right now. Like it's definitely a good tool to use after you've gotten that following, but I don't feel like necessarily to start with that because
right,
Well,
there's just not enough people following it right now, if you know what I mean.
right. Well, the other issue is Facebook got caught for fudging the numbers.
Yeah,
So
fudging numbers and a
yeah,
whole bunch
trying
of
to
other legal
because
stuff.
they try to be like, okay, if you're scrolling down Facebook and you come across somebody that's streaming, you don't really you kind of stop and then keep
Yep.
going. They count that as a view, and it's
Yeah.
like, um, okay,
I've even noticed like scrolling
but
past something, not even stopping.
Facebook is not a gaming platform. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah, it's
not,
not.
and a lot of people like, yeah, I'm still on Facebook, but I really use Facebook to kind of really just keep in touch with family and friends. I mean, but Facebook has changed so
Mm.
much from when it first came out back when I was like in high school, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, like, I mean, all you get is ads all over the place as well, and it's just I don't I I thought about like tried putting together something on Facebook, but I it just didn't feel right. You know,
Yeah.
I even did I think I even published not published, but I paid for promotion for one of my podcasts for my channel. I'm never doing that again. I'm just, it
Yeah.
just didn't seem right because, like, man, I don't like it when I have to go through Facebook and I'm trying to keep up with everybody that's in my friends list and I get ads from this and that and gamers that I don't even follow, but they still pop up on my feed. And it's
Yeah.
really, I'm not, no. And it's always like people who's got several hundred or, sometimes 30 people that are watching them is like, man,
Yeah.
no. I just don't see Facebook gaming really going anywhere right now. Um,
Yeah.
that's my opinion. Somebody on here who does do Facebook gaming wants to back that up or uh, wants to debate about that, we can always do that. Um, but anyways, but yeah, it's always seems like if you want to make it where you want to, you know, if you want to make some sort of living out of playing a game or playing video games, because it's something that we all love, obviously, because we do it.
Yeah.
And, you just have to do so much more nowadays versus, some of the people that, all the big people now, that they started back when it
Yeah.
wasn't really a thing. They just started streaming it because why not? And
Yeah.
eventually they just end up taking off and they're well known. But
Yep.
now you actually have to work for it,
Hmm.
versus, I mean, I'm not trying to say that, they didn't have to work for it either, but
Well, yeah, but I know what you
it's
mean.
not like what it is today.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, I'm hoping to build this bridge to maybe help that flow. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get everybody. And another thing I want people to realize, that let's say a year from now I have, let's say, 100,000 subscriber on YouTube, and I build up a really good following, and I bring you on my podcast, and we do the same thing what we're doing tonight. You can't. I don't want people thinking that, oh well, I get on the podcast, then I'm going to build up a whole big following.
Oh yeah.
You're probably going to get that spurt of people that are going to show up at first to follow you, but it's your job to keep
To
them
carry him.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
like to hold on to those people that come to see you.
Yep.
So this is not where, that's not my job to make sure that people
Hmm.
keep coming back to you. Um,
Yeah.
but I would love to, spread the love, like, hey, one of these days I would love to, once I do have a following, a really big following, I would love to just go through Twitch randomly and pick somebody, be like, start watching this person for about a week or so, and be like, hey, you want to join my podcast? I would love to have you on, and you seem like a really cool guy, and just, bring him on, and, hopefully maybe change his life or her life. You never know.
Yep.
So, but, anyways, um, what else is there? What else could we talk about?
I do not know.
Mm,
I'm kind of clueless at the
uh,
moment because I'm getting tired.
uh, yeah, it is getting kind of late. Um, let's see where we're at. Probably a little over an hour.
Yeah, we're at an hour and I
Yeah,
think 10
yeah, I think
minutes.
we're at about that hour mark. Um, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and cut it here. But this was actually really good. And I'm really happy to have you guys on here.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks for having me.
you guys,
Thank you.
Ghetto Plots, you guys could go ahead and then plug yourself. Let everybody know about your Twitch, where they can find you, and
Yep.
their information will also be in the description. I will make sure that that gets put in. So if you guys want to go ahead and plug yourself, feel free to.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh, Anyone watching that would like to follow me on Twitch, my Twitch is PlotzSiva, PlotzSiva, and on Instagram and YouTube is the same. So PlotzSiva.
If you want to follow me on Twitch and Twitter, my username is StayChilly91. Chili as in, chili like the penguin, chili with a Y.
And
uh,
don't ask why.
yeah, yeah. But but yeah, those are my links there if you want to follow me.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully, I can try to. I may have these guys back on next Friday, and we'll discuss more about. I got a list of stuff so far, and that I'll bring up. But we'll definitely try to make this a thing every week. every Friday, open mic Friday. Um, Hopefully, if I do come up across some other people that are streamers, if you are a streamer or if you know a streamer that would love to be on the podcast to kind of, really tell their own story, um, feel free to contact me. You can contact me on PSN. Um, you can send me an email, whatever. Smoke signals. We'll figure it out. Um, but anyways, we'll try to make this a thing every Friday night, and hopefully, we can get this to where I could do this more often, especially during the week. Um, and we'll really iterate or implement more things into the podcast. Really, I don't know what this is just yet. Um, I'm still trying to figure that out as I go. So, with your support, maybe I could find my way through it. So, all right. Well, we're going to end it here. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.